Hello again. Although I seldom attend church these days, I still maintain an interest in the Church of England. It was, after all, until recently, the default setting for anybody born in England. Putting your religion on official forms for 90% of people meant writing C of E. If you were not a Catholic, then C of E was what most of us were. The Anglican Church used to be safe, solid, and reliable. It was described by a critic during the First World War as the Conservative Party at prayer. Nothing wrong with that, you might say. In recent years, though, the Church has taken a sharp turn left, until one might better describe it perhaps as the Green Party at prayer these days. The rot really set in 30 years ago with the ordination of women, which caused quite a few people, including some priests, to migrate to the Catholics. The step taken a while ago by even the former Bishop of Rochester, Michael Nazir Ali. The leadership of the Church of England are now increasingly progressive politically, something of which they make a fetish. There is, for example, a strong faction which wishes not only to be allowed to marry same-sex couples in church, but also wants priests to be allowed to remain in post if they have undergone a civil marriage to somebody of the same sex. A strong supporter of such a move is the Bishop of Chelmsford, Julie Frances Degani. She has lately been announced as the bookies' favourite to become the next Archbishop of Canterbury. It has to be said that she ticks all the right boxes for the post, and knowing the state of the Anglican Church these days, I should say that she must be a shoo-in for the job. To begin with, she is of course a woman, and there has never been a female head of the Church of England. That is a huge point in her favour. She has very progressive views, such as those I mentioned about how nice it would be if clergymen could be married to each other. Perhaps her biggest selling point, though, is that she is foreign. Not only foreign, but an asylum-seeker. This must surely clinch the contest in her favour. Her family fled Iran after the Islamic Revolution, coming to live in this country when she was just 14. The Church of England is fantastically keen on asylum seekers and refugees, never missing a chance to compare them with the Holy Family during the flights to Egypt. I cannot imagine that the Synod will be able to pass up the chance to put an asylum seeker in overall charge of the Church. Mind, to be fair, the last Archbishop was a middle-class white man, and he was probably the most useless Archbishop of Canterbury ever. It is hard to imagine that Julie Frances Degani could possibly be any worse than Justin Welby. It's just very irritating that it is possible to guess ahead of time what the Church is up to, based simply upon such superficial matters as nationality, immigration status, and sex. The fact is, most people who take their religion seriously and actually believe in the Gospels have crossed over to the Catholic Church, and those who remain are either old people who still attend church for purely sentimental reasons, or they are left-wing activists who feel that having a social conscience is at least as important for a vicar as believing in God. For those of us who do believe in God, this makes services in Anglican churches a little awkward. I've worshipped in churches all over the place, ranging from Quaker meeting houses to Greek Orthodox and even Syrian Orthodox places, and most of them do seem to have more of an interest in religion than the Anglicans. I suppose that being old, I would prefer to see services conducted using the King James Bible and the Book of Common Prayer. Such things are a rarity these days. Although not really a gambling man, I am tempted to have a modest bet with Ladbrokes on the Bishop of Chelmsford scooping the jackpot when the Synod finally gets round to sending in its recommendations to the Prime Minister later this year.